All right, buddy. Welcome to Canada in
I
your blue light.
Yeah, you like that?
I do like that. I think I'm gonna be drinking some of that this weekend, actually.
Yeah, so I bought it because of you.
Hello, and thank you very much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can download many more episodes at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com.
I don't hate this movie. I don't know where you are. Sometimes you and I call each other like the day that we record and we kind of spill the beans. We didn't talk to each other today. So I'm kind of curious where you're at. But we're talking about Unfrosted, Netflix exclusive movie. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
Do you want to talk how bad this movie was received by a lot of these critics first?
Yeah, we can. I mean, I personally didn't hate it. I mean,
Sure.
I wanna
No,
talk-
I get it. I actually surprisingly didn't hate this movie either. I was going into it expecting to think the worst just because all those reviews that I've seen were dogging on it. A lot of people just saying that this is the worst. I hated this movie, yada yada, and giving all these reasons. And it seems like everyone's attempt to describe why they didn't like this movie just flat out boils down to they didn't like the jokes. It wasn't their type of humor. They
Well, this
can't
is
really
Anchor,
this very
this
much
Anchorman humor.
this movie very much felt like an early Adam McKay movie.
Yeah, the humor. No, I think people went into this movie expecting this to be serious. I don't think they paid attention to the trailer. I went into this movie knowing it was going to be stupid, just because of the trailers. They're making a movie about Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Like how serious are you going to go? Like you can't make this. Is there something that you and I reviewed or something that came out in the years that we've done this where it was a retelling of something stupid that they created and it was serious? Oh hell, there was a few, I bet. Right, like
a retelling.
well, okay, so not a retelling, but what I'm saying is there a movie out there that's like the Pop-Tart movie, Unfrosted, but they made it serious, where it was a ridiculous concept like creating Pop-Tarts?
Oh, I'm sure there was.
I'm sure you and I reviewed that. Like
Yeah.
there has to be, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find an example here, but well, we just did Romeo Show where they made Post-its.
Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is because you said you want to talk about the critics, and from some of the stuff that I've read online, people were like, I wasn't expecting this to be stupid.
Right.
And it's like, but it's a movie about the making of Pop-Tarts. Nobody thinks about that. You know what I mean? Like,
something a little bit more satirical.
right.
Let's see if I can find satirical movies where it was something kind of like that. I don't know. Thank you for smoking. I don't know about that.
I don't know. Like it's
Leonard Part 6, fantastic movie. Can't even say with a straight face.
No, like you know what I mean. Like there had to have been like something. We got to change the subject, but my point is that what bothers me about these critics is that they're expecting something serious or semi-serious, and it's a movie about Pop-Tarts. So shame on you for thinking that you were going to get something great. Like you're not going to get walk the line here, pal.
Sure. I mean, could you compare like a weed movie then, or
Yeah, well, I mean, this is straight up Anchorman to me. Yeah, Adam McKay, early Adam McKay, Austin Powers, like that Jay Roach era, right? Like you're looking at that, which is a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you.
Oh, absolutely. Again, did you do any research for this movie as far as the people who were dogging on it?
No, I did research about the real story about this movie.
And what have you found from that?
10% of it's true.
Is it the box?
No. So I mean, you're a Michigander, right? So I guess Battle Creek, Michigan. This is real. Like Kellogg and Post were literally in Battle Creek, Michigan, and what separated them was a train track. This is all true. And they called Battle Creek they called that area Cereal City. And Post did create the Pop-Tart first, but like in this movie though, they called it Country Squares.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real thing. I don't know if you knew that. And 6 months later, Kellogg came out with the Pop-Tart. a play on Andy Warhol's pop art, which they made fun of in this movie.
Yeah,
That's the real story.
I'm very familiar with Battle Creek, Michigan, and the things that go on there. There's a popular movie. What was it? The '90s, Road to Wellsville.
I don't know where Battle Creek is. I'm curious what Battle Creek
Road
is. I'm
Road
gonna
to
find it.
Wellville in '94, with Anthony Hopkins, Matthew Broderick, Bridget Fonda, John Cusack, Jenny Carvey.
Oh, Battle Creek is towards the middle of the city.
It's right
I mean,
by
middle of the city. Wow, middle of the state.
yeah, and
Like Kalamazoo.
yep, that's where I went. That's Western Michigan right there. Is where college is, and so I remember going to Battle Creek for disc golf a lot.
Are Kellogg and Post still there? Or?
Oh yeah, there was a museum
Gotcha.
there.
Oh, it's a museum now?
Well, no, there is a museum there. Like it's
Ah.
they yes, still there.
Eric, you hated that I put this on the schedule. You were upset with me for a little bit. When you saw this, you were like, nah, bud, we ain't doing this. I was like, yeah, it looks okay. Like, you were not happy.
I was not excited for this movie. There was a lot of, again, bad reviews about it. There were some here. I'll give you some examples of some people dogging on this. They're saying that this is what happens when because this movie was written and directed by Jerry Seinfeld,
Okay.
right? And the same people who did was it B Movie?
Oh, that was terrible.
Which this movie felt a lot like B Movie as far as the pace, the rhythm, and the jokes a bit. Just kind of the overall attitude. And Jerry Seinfeld, that's just his kind of a thing, to be honest with you. So basically, a lot of people comparing it to other things. It really was a lot of online reviews, a lot of written reviews comparing it to other movies, to nostalgia grab, to it being like a marketing thing, to all the cameos in it. There was a bunch. There was a ton of cameos in this movie. It seemed like every scene there was a new player that would come in to.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. Really, I'm not. And it just kept on. It just kept on going, even for like small bits. The smallest bits, you'd have somebody that would come in and just do the littlest bit and move on. That's it. I didn't even think his Jerry Seinfeld's wife, Rachel Harris. I don't think she said a line in the entire movie.
Who's she in the movie?
She's his wife, the blonde wife. I think she says maybe one or two things.
Okay.
Yeah. But she was she's in a bunch of other stuff. I think we recently reviewed Old Dads, where she was in Old Dads. She played the teacher.
Yeah, no.
The offended principal or whatever. But yeah, again, there's just a lot of people. So going into all that, listening to them, and when I think it was Tim Heidecker was talking about how he's just not a fan of it. This is like hack comedy. That this is what happens when Netflix doesn't say no to a rich man.
That's nonsense because it's not a marketing ploy. Believe as you will. But I guess I was reading on IMDb. I didn't see the clip yet, but on late night, one of the late night shows, Seinfeld said that he did not get permission from Kellogg or Post, and he said, "I mean, they can go. I mean, they can sue me."
Yeah, I read that. I also read that basically this, and this is not uncommon for a comedian, that this whole movie was based off of one of his jokes that kind of just was constantly being workshopped into more and more and more. So he had a bit about how Pop-Tarts can't ever go bad because they're never fresh, and he just keeps on going about, as in his stand-up routine, having a Pop-Tart set or a bit in his set, and it eventually came into the point where I think he had an aha moment. He's like, you know what, I think we got a movie here.
So one thing that I don't know if you agree on this one, but we get done with the movie last night, watched on Netflix, and Gina says, "It's okay." I said, "Yeah, I know it's okay." I was surprised. And she went, "I hate the title though." I said, "Yeah, I know the title is kind of crappy. I don't know what you would call the movie. Unfrosted is kind of a crappy title."
Yeah, I
You
don't
know what I
know.
mean? Like
Yeah,
the
I don't
history
know
of
what you
Pop
would
Tart,
call.
maybe.
I don't know what you would call this either. But no, because it can't be anything that's copywritten, right? You can't do like a Pop Tart without Kellogg's consent, or you can't do anything
They
Kellogg.
did.
Well, they movie, but they couldn't. You can't call it that, right?
I don't know. They put Pop Tart logos and everything inside the movie. So
I
if
wonder if
anything,
it's under defense of parody law, where they're just because they're making up a very untrue story about Kellogg's, and so because of that, there was a Nathan for You episode on Comedy Central when he talking about that where um, you could basically open up anything under the name, but as long as you are so wildly off of what it actually is, it could fall under parody law.
that's
So
probably what's happening because, like, he should Mel Brooks it. He should call this the history of Pop Tarts Part One
hey, there
and
you
never
go.
make a Part Two.
So yeah,
No,
I
so
wonder if it was just something like that, or if there was a joke in there that we missed.
look, I feel the critics are being a little harsh. I don't know how this review is going to go. I don't know if we're going to be harsh. I'm not saying this movie's amazing. I'm not saying that. I went into this expecting slapstick, potty humor. I mean, I'm watching a movie about Pop Tarts. Like, how serious are you going to get? You know what I mean? So I went in there, had a couple beers, and had a great time. Brisk hour and a half, perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect. And I was smiling a lot because of the cameos.
yeah. And the
This movie's not
little
bad.
jokes. I grew up on cereal and Pop Tarts, so
My favorite was the Milkman. It's hilarious to me that the cereal and milk go together. This Pop Tart's an abomination. Christian Slater is going to teach you a lesson. Like, and then and why is Peter Dinklage in this? It's just why, you know. And of course, he's the evil milkman. It's just no.
why not, right?
Yeah, why not at this point? Yeah, so we get well. So Galifianakis, is that his name? The owner of Kellogg.
Jim Gaffigan.
Gaffigan. Yeah, there we go. I murdered that one. He's the heir of Kellogg, and then Amy Schumer, who Gina is on a love affair with, is the heir of Post. You know why my wife's on a love affair with Amy Schumer right now?
Because of the TV show,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
She's like, oh my, Life and Beth. She's like, oh my God, this is so me. I just love it.
Oh yeah, poor Amy Schumer. I wonder if she'll ever get over stealing jokes.
Oh really? Has that been her thing now too?
Yeah, she got called out for stealing jokes. Apparently, what was that? She had her own TV show, Inside Amy.
Inside
Yeah, Inside
Schumer.
Amy Schumer, and apparently she got called out for doing bits that were either stand-up bits or from other TV shows. I think she stole some from the Sarah Silverman show.
Okay, look. I'm going to say my piece on this. I'm not an Amy Schumer fan, so I'm not. I don't know why I'm defending her. Key and Peele's show is pretty much theft of Chappelle's show, right? This is the same concept.
No, I
They
think is
they
that
even
theft. I think Comedy Central is doing a dumb thing, and they needed to fill a void with Chappelle Show, and they're like, "Oh, what other black comics can we get?"
it was the same style. It opened up with Chappelle going out to an audience. It opened up with Key and Peele going out to an audience until that changed. It's the same stuff, and I believe Inside Amy Schumer was also on Comedy Central. People steal all the time from other people, right? So it's like, I mean,
Well,
artists.
well, Steele and being parallel are different. Like Chappelle and Key and Peele are similar shows in that their formula, their kind of what am I trying to say? Their production is the same, right? Because it's the same studio, and I would imagine kind of the same directors and the same people that were spearheading the thing. We're saying we want to do kind of be like Chappelle Show, but their content is their own. Amy Schumer was repeating bits
Oh, like line for line, kind of like not making it her own.
Yeah, like doing very much same scenario, same bits. Yeah, and she was getting called out for that. And obviously, I could go on for days about other comedians who have done that. Dane Cook stealing from Louis C.K. Amy Schumer, I think, also stealing from Louis C.K. Carlos Mencia stealing from, well, everybody, right? And same with his show too. But it just kind of happens. I don't think I think Amy Schumer is still funny in her own part. Her specials, that's the part about female comics nowadays is that they somehow feel like they need to be vulgar and kind of
Yeah.
and it's you don't need to be vulgar and talk about your parts every single time. I know that a lot of guys when they do that, I'm turned off by that too. I don't want to hear about your junk. Just like I don't those vulgar comics, leave it out. I don't want to see that. So men, women apart, we don't want to hear about your bits. That's old hacky comic stuff, man. In just
You know
observational
what?
humor is what's taken over.
I'm going to change the subject, but I will end it on this. When you say vulgar, dirty comics, I wish we had the comics of the '90s with the Dennis Leary's and the what's the guy that was like that '90s New York guy? He's like, hey,
Andrew Dice Clay.
yeah, the Dice Man. Yeah, that guy. And I'm
But
glad that I went hey and you knew exactly what I was
I want to
talking
bring it back around though because Jerry Seinfeld is not that. Jerry Seinfeld is an observational comic. What's the deal with peanuts on the plane? You can't get them open.
about. Right.
Just kind of relatable type of humor. He's not going up there talking about after he, banged a girl and that time, and just going really blue, getting
Mm-hmm.
really vulgar with it. And I think that it's harder to do that type of comic, or even be a clean comic for which he's not. Yeah, I'm not saying that he is, but to do all sorts of rooms and not just be that Andrew Dice Clay, who's or even like I don't know, like I want to say like a Jeff Foxworthy, where it's just like men are just so much different from women, huh? Or the dumb kind of comic from New York who's talks about the race stuff, right?
Right.
White people, huh?
Well,
Black people, huh? Where
so
this is just, I think this is more of like an age humor than anything.
right. Well, I think this was tamed. Like, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this. Um, you get exactly what I expected it to be. Brisk hour and a half, and the story moved along. It was a very obvious story, right? Kellogg and Post are going at each other. You got the Romeo and Juliet thing. The two Hows may not meet, if you will, right?
Yeah.
And somehow we get NASA, and it was a '60s thing. I enjoyed. So Jerry Seinfeld is like the number two of Kellogg, and one of my favorite things is the beginning. He walks into work, and his secretary's bringing up a box of Fruit Loops, and it didn't do well in a survey or something. So he goes, put more sugar in it and change the wording to FROOT because there's no fruit in this. You can't put fruit in. I like little lines like that. I was laughing. That was perfect. Yes.
Yeah. No, I appreciated that too. I think that's what got me where after a while, because it's quick fire.
Uh-huh.
It's they don't linger on the joke. They might stretch it sometimes, but for the most part, what I appreciate about this movie is they said the punch and then they moved right on to the next one.
Moved right on to Hugh Grant as Tony the Tiger. Loved this whole thing when he was like, so Tony the Tiger, right? He's in this costume. We don't know it's Hugh Grant. He takes it off, the head off. I was like, that's Hugh Grant. And my wife's like, oh my God. Right? And I was like, he's come a long way
The Oompa
from
Loompa,
Love
huh?
Actually. Oh my God. I hate Hugh Grant because I hate Love Actually so much. I hate Alan Rickman because of that.
Oh, stop. Nobody hates Alan Rickman.
I do because of that movie. Come on. Look at the guy
No,
who went on
you
to
come
do.
on. You're still gonna watch Die Hard.
It's a different time. It's a different time.
Is
But
it?
anyway, it's a different.
You're still gonna
it's a
watch
different-
Galaxy Quest and think, oh man, he's fantastic. By
Yeah.
Greptar's hammer.
Okay. You got me. But this is the cameos with that like him being anyway. So Kellogg and Post at each other, and now the one thing I am confused about is Jerry Seinfeld came up with the idea in this movie. He came up with the idea with Pop Tarts, but Post stole the idea, and Jerry Seinfeld saw kids inside of Post's dumpsters eating jelly.
The goop.
That little girl was a great actress. I enjoyed that little girl. I can't wait for her. Like, I really hope she gets into acting more and she gets older, because she was. I mean, she phoned it in. She loved. I'm not phoned it in. It's a bad one.
Yeah.
Saying she took the crap and she made something out of it.
I agree.
I loved her. She had like that southern, like what's that girl's name? Honey Boo Boo kind of look to her.
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of like I eat skitty and butter. Like, she looked like that.
Both those kids did a pretty good job, actually.
I liked her more, but yeah, I mean, like,
sure, she had the better one-liners.
Yeah, she had the better show stealer
and the better delivery. Yeah,
she loved the goop, and they would have one-liners throughout the whole movie with one-liners. Like, somebody would say, "No, James Marsden came in out of nowhere as this athletic guy, and he's just like, sugar's bad for you, but we're going to introduce this new thing called high fructose corn syrup."
Yeah,
and it's like, you're laughing, but part of me was thinking too, like, that's probably what people like believed, right? Like 50s, 60s, like.
Oh yeah, back then, you kidding me? Doctors will tell you how to. You feeling bad? Doctors will tell you how to have a cigarette.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the old commercials too, where 9 out of 10 doctors recommend you smoke Camels.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
played
for your T-zone.
Jack. Yeah, he played Jack LaLanne. James Marsden did, and again, a lot of these guys, these people. Wasn't he a fitness guy in the 50s? Kind of.
I don't know who that guy is that he was playing. Of course, we have Chef Boyardee, which was hilarious.
He was the body by Jake guy of the 50s.
Is that who he is?
Yeah.
Okay. My favorite, I don't know his name, right? But have you ever had an actor, and for people that are listening too, have you ever had an actor or an actress that you know is not well received, right? But you, for some reason, just kind of like what they do, and you just like everything. You don't like what they do, but you like them in what they do. You know what I mean?
Like, keep going, example, maybe not.
The German.
Oh, Thomas Lennon.
Fell in love with him because of Reno.
Yeah.
Right? Who didn't love him? Hell, the other goof from Reno was in this too. He was the Fruit Loop guy. Not the Fruit Loop guy.
Yeah, no, you're right. He played Toucan Sam.
But like, because of Reno, right? This guy's in it. And then like he just does these one bit movie characters all the time. Like, he even played remember the Lethal Weapon show that came out for 2 seasons?
Yeah.
And I watched it. He played Joe Pesci's part.
Tom Lennon did?
Yeah. Like,
Cedric
it's just
Yarborough, the guy who played.
the white guy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's been in a lot, man. He was in like I Love You Man, 17 again.
Right. He's just he's in a lot of literally crap. But I just like him in it. You know what I mean?
He's a hard worker, man. He's a writer and an actor, but he does it all.
My favorite joke in this entire movie, right? And we'll talk about more, but Jerry Seinfeld has to recruit Melissa McCarthy from NASA. They used to work together to develop this Pop-Tart. So they develop this, so they find these team of super, Chef Boyardee and, stuff like that. And this guy's a German. And my favorite joke, I'm still laughing throughout this whole movie, was when the person was like, you're German. What were you doing in the early 1940s? And he was like, that's for me to know and you to find out. So, it's like.
Oh, yeah, you not to find out, yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know why, dude. I was laughing on that joke. That was a perfect joke. I wish I could say that to a German. What were you doing in 42? I just want to know.
I think my favorite joke in this was Walter Cronkite.
Oh, yeah.
When he was playing with the putty, and he was just starting to punch it. It's just boom, boom, boom. I pay the bills and I'll drink when I want.
I love to be played with a toy that it goes away and it comes back. It goes away and it comes back. I love that joke.
Yeah, yeah. Like a
It's
lot of
good.
this simple humor that's dumb. Listen, I'm fully aware that this is not a movie that is a thinking man's movie here. I've said many times before in the show, and I'll repeat it again, that when there is a dumb, stupid movie that knows it's a dumb, stupid movie, I'm along for the ride, and this movie is just that. I will agree that there are times, and this is other people saying it, so I'm not using my own words, that there are many times I think in this movie where it feels like Jerry Seinfeld, the director, is just going with the loose script and saying, "Okay, go. We're gonna do 20 takes and just ad lib and just freestyle." And
Yeah, this was definitely a party.
yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll get a whole bunch of jokes, and I'm sure it seemed like they're having a good time on set and having a fun time on camera, and they're just doing these takes over and over again and seeing what works, and they'll put together in post. I can clearly say that like in the lab when they're doing like a lot of the reaction stuff or just kind of the one-liners to what somebody says.
Right.
I understand that completely, and it does come off as that, but um, those may not work as well as some of the other stuff, which are puns, or like the Walter Cronkite bit, like I said before, or something that is just so dumb that it works, or those two kids.
Those two kids worked, and I can see that, right? Because when they find the dream team, right, to make this Pop Tart, they didn't make the Pop Tart. They all didn't work on a project. This kind of reminded me of them making fun of Oppenheimer in a way.
They were parodying a lot of movies in this.
Right, but it kind of felt like that, right? It kind of felt like Jerry Seinfeld was Oppenheimer, and he grabbed the dream team. But the difference is, well, Oppenheimer's an Oscar award-winning film, but which we didn't like that much. But it's like they bring this dream team together, and the dream team did not go together to create the Pop Tart. You know what I mean? Which is ridiculous.
Schwinn, Jack McBrayer, or what's his name?
He just develops a bike,
Uh,
which
Jack Jack McBrayer, yeah, and he was the interviewed. It's just like, how do you feel that about all of you people with no experience in making anything edible to come here to make a new discovery? And he goes, "That's what we're doing here."
that was a good one. I will always remember this guy when I was dating my now wife when we went to see Sarah Marshall, and he was like the weird Christian guy on his honeymoon. He
Oh
was like,
God,
God put miles on our heads for a reason. And that guy, I always remember that line because of that guy.
the bedroom scene with him and the wife in there, I think is hilarious.
Oh, this guy still looks the same. He's ageless, and I love him.
That's a
He's 6
joke
foot.
in 30 Rock, by the way, too.
Is it?
Because
Okay.
he plays a page in 30 Rock, and that's the joke, which goes on a little bit too hard and long. Obviously, any TV show that goes into extended seasons, you're just like,
Right.
okay, you got to find different angles. But yeah,
Right.
that he's when I was back here in 1940, it's just like, what? And nobody questions it.
Now, I didn't Google search it because I want to live in my own truth in my own world. But one of the funniest things to be in this movie that I really appreciated was them making fun of sea monkeys. So the German and Chef Boyardee are together, and they're just like, "Oh, no, sea monkeys are just shrimp eggs or something
Yeah.
like that."
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not going to Google that, but I believe that's true. Yeah, I believe that's true. And then the chef puts the shrimp eggs into a ravioli and cut that out. Right? That face shrimp ravioli creation was very, very stupid. I know this movie's stupid, but that cut that out,
Oh yeah,
Jerry.
no, I
That
agree.
was that was stupid. That was absolutely nonsense.
There are some parts in this movie that are a little too stupid, and I think that's maybe why a lot of people hated this movie as much as they did for cutscenes like that. But when that's happening, for me, the gear's already been shifted. I'm already in stupid mode. The brain's already turned off, and I'm already in the ride. I'm already here,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and because these jokes move so fast, they move past this thing real quick. I can understand. Again, this is the one such example where they stretch out the bit a little bit too long just because it's recurring and it has more than one kind of parts. And maybe this is for like the kid part, right? This is that little
Riley thought it was cute.
yeah. Thank you. This is the Jar Jar Binks, right? This is the baby Yoda.
Oh, there you go.
This
Yeah.
is that Pete that little thing for all the audiences. But yeah, I could see why. But on the other
Very
part, I could see
stupid.
something like where the John Hamm and John Slattery Mad Men coming to do the sales pitch for the ad. Like I could see where that would be something for the adults.
Okay, so I gotta speak my truth. Okay, so you know how some shows are extremely popular and everybody loves it, and you're that one guy or that person that's just like, the shows ain't for me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it took a while for us. What I mean by us, my wife and I, to watch Breaking Bad. Like Breaking Bad was over by the time we started watching the first season. You know what I mean?
sure.
Um, I got into the first episode of Mad Men. The famous camel, they're toasted, Lucky Strikes thing. Never went back to it. Never went back to it. And my wife watched the whole series. She loved Mad Men.
Okay.
I just didn't like it. I just did not like it. So for her to see John Hamm coming in and doing his little pitch was magic for her. I get it, right? Because I'm into pop culture, so I was laughing along with her. But yeah, I just was not a Mad Men fan. But to see these two together was fun.
Yeah.
And how he turned an innocent pastry into something sexual. What was the names like? What was the names like? Like Noir, something Noir.
Oh,
And
yeah. I forgot what they were, but it's just something dumb. Here, I can look it up to see if.
it was like Pop Tarts, rich for her pleasure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was something sensual.
Yeah, it was like sensual, and then it was like noir, and that was funny to have them in here. Um, Melissa McCarthy, are is her star still on the decline, or is she starting to rise up again? Right, because she had a slew there, a decade of crap, but now she started to be. I don't know. Like this movie kind of made me turn on her for the positive. Like she kind of seems fun. Like I really enjoy Melissa McCarthy in this movie.
I think Melissa McCarthy. Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed her in this movie too, but I think she suffers the same problem that Will Ferrell has, where listen, funny person, especially in the right role, very very funny, but there's an overexposure, and there's also a limitation that so many people can take. She tried her best to do other roles with a bigger range, some dramatic roles, just like Will Ferrell did, and sometimes it worked, but it really wasn't for
Yeah.
her. I think that so many people just put her into that bridesmaid role, right?
Do you think that Monique would have done a better job?
I get that reference.
I hope
Good,
people that are listening get that reference.
good for you.
I
Uh,
really hope people get that reference.
I hope
Hashtag
a
Club
lot of
Shay Shay.
people, yeah, a lot of people love Club Shay Shay. Uh, but after a while, she does kind of play the same character, right? Identity thief, the Heat, Tammy, uh,
That was her crap.
spy.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
where she just plays like this loud mouth,
Ghostbusters.
yeah, Ghostbusters, this loud, dumb boss kind of a thing. But she does have heart. She was in Mike and Molly, right, for a long time, where she plays a heartful character, right? And she does
Right.
have this part. She was in, oh, what was that movie? Uh was she in the Nines with Ryan? Yeah, in the Nines
Yeah.
with Ryan Reynolds, where it's not a comedy, it's a dramatic role, and she kind of plays like a very concerned role. Like she has, and she's in Gilmore Girls too, right? Like she has it there. She does have the range, but I think her star, just like you said, is known more for these comedy roles, and it's maybe hard for her to escape that. So in this movie, I think she's playing more of the same.
Yeah, but I liked her though. Like I like how she handled it. Like one of the things I liked was people kept on confusing her for a man and stuff, and she was making jokes, and of course, you know, the standard NASA in the '60s, right, where it's all fake, and the astronaut beats up the alien, you
That was
know,
fun.
and you know, one of my favorite lines of hers is when she was like, when the monkey and the astronaut died, they mixed their, they got their dental record.
That's
I'm just like,
classified information.
yeah, it's
I think,
hilarious.
but on that note, I think she performs better as a supporting cast
Mhm.
than leading. I think if she's a leading role, then
Yeah,
it becomes a little bit too much to stomach. Where
yeah,
in a supporting the cast like this, we get just enough where she can just
she
put her head
deserves to
above
be in an
water.
ensemble. Yeah, it has to be in an ensemble. Another funny bit that we're not talking about yet is Jerry Seinfeld decides to go to El Salvador, somewhere,
Yeah.
and buys all the sugar.
Oh God, I actually really like this part. I think this is the part of the movie where I was just like, okay, you know what? I think I like this movie.
Yeah, because you know where this movie fits?
What's
Because
that?
we didn't give it a bad review a few years ago. This movie fits into the weird category, the Weird Al movie, where
Yeah.
they take something that's true and just
Oh, there you go.
completely.
Good
That's exactly
good
what this
comparison.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
And they meet this drug lord of sugar, right? And then they have this howdy doody guy coming in, and he takes them
That was
away.
Tony Hale. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, I really wish they would have Will Ferrell that like Magatu part, where it's like they shoot him and he says, "You shot me."
I
Like
I
I
thought
love
that
that.
part was great when he comes in does his bit and it fails so bad and then the guys just pull him off and you just hear a gunshot. Yeah, just like you
Right.
said, how dumb and silly is that? Where it's just like, okay,
And they turn the
perfect.
corner and the dummy got shot and he's crying over it. He's doing the voice. He's like,
He's
"Am I dying?"
he's a
He's like, "You're
professional.
dying."
He really commits to the bit.
And so then Post is like, "Hey man, they stole the sugar." So then they somehow become. So they go to Russia and they show them Russian brand cereals and they make a deal. And somehow this is linked in with Bill Burr being Kennedy with a great Kennedy accent, by the way.
Oh,
I
he's got that Boston,
Yeah, he has
the
he has that Ken.
Massachusetts kind of, yeah.
I love it, and Kennedy somehow gets involved. I love that, and this has to deal with the Cuban Missile Crisis, all that fun stuff. The part that I loved too was the milkman. I brought that up in the beginning of the episode, right? Where Christian Slater, God, broken arrow to this, right? Like, what happened to this guy, right? Like, gee,
He fell off for a bit and here's the thing is that with Christian Slater, I'd actually had not necessarily intentionally followed him, but unintentionally through the 2000s in a lot of his movies. What did he
was
do?
it
A
was it
quiet.
crap?
He did like a lot of TV shows. He did a Quiet Man, right? He was a Quiet Man. Do you remember that one at all?
No,
With with Cuthbert,
no, I don't know this. I don't know this.
where that one was a weird movie. Where he plays like a uh, kind of like an office shooter or a guy that was supposed to. He just kind of a loner. He was a quiet man, and
Got
he wanted
It's one of
to
those.
shoot up his office. And the day that he decides to go to shoot up his office, there was someone else. Yeah, he was a quiet man. Someone else was going to shoot up the office, and so the gun that he was going to do shoot up the office, he ended up shooting the other guy, and he becomes a hero.
That sounds very stupid.
It gets really weird because at the end of it, you find out it's all a fantasy, and he was just daydreaming at the office, and then he goes on to do what he, yeah, like yeah. Alicia
Spoiler, right?
Cuthbert
Oh
is in
my!
there. I've just saved you 2 hours.
Wow. It's called A Quiet Man.
He was a quiet man, yes. And it's
Okay.
yeah, Alicia Cuthbert plays like because she's the office
Oh,
crush, And because of that, yep, that's the yeah.
I've seen this poster and it looks stupid, so never watch the movie. Yep. Okay.
He did
Oh,
a
dude, what's his face is in this?
William
Yeah.
H.
Okay.
Macy. Yeah, he did a lot of cameos. He did a lot of like just oddball stuff. I don't know if he took a step back for intentional reasons, but uh, really just voiceover work and cameos. He was just doing his thing. Then Mr. Robot came out.
Oh yeah, with what's his face that I like.
Rami Malek, and
Yeah.
I really liked Mr. Robot. I thought it was a fantastic series. In fact, I think it's due for a rewatch here in my list here soon. Written and directed by Sam Esmail, by the way, who did Leave the World Behind,
Which we did not like.
which we did not
But
like.
Christian Slater's fun with this. Of course, he gets kidnapped by what? Not Christian Slater gets kidnapped, but Christian Slater kidnaps Jerry Seinfeld for smelling old milk. And Peter Dinklage, I said my unpopular, very nasty comment off air to my wife, so I'm not going to repeat it here. But I am over Peter Dinklage, pun intended. And I'm just over him, right? Like I have nothing against the dude, but I'm just like, I mean, he's no longer teetering like the cameo parts. Now he's over that line, right? Where he's just like, now he's a joke, and
Well,
that's
certainly in
fine.
this movie.
He's a joke in a lot of movies I've seen him in.
Yeah,
he's
what was
he's
that?
he's just. We reviewed him a few times. See, wait a minute. I think Dinklage gets the golden headphones.
Oh, maybe Unfrosted. What was that one movie that you loved and I hated? That dark comedy.
Oh yeah, what's her face? Where she does the old people thing,
I
right?
Care a Lot.
I Care a Lot. He was the villain in that one.
Yeah,
He was a joke in that one.
yeah, and then he was also. Did we do Infinity War? He was in that one.
So there you go. Golden headphones for Peter Dinklage. They will be in the mail, and you'll get it never. Like we haven't gotten our mask yet after 8 years. No, so it's just okay. Peter Dinklage is in it, but one of my also favorite jokes is when they torture Jerry Seinfeld and they said he has to walk the aisle and he has to walk through a continuous aisle of cow farts, which was hilarious, and he was done and the president takes him, blah, blah, blah. And this is where we get the ending, right? Where all the mascots are set and Post and Kellogg are going to release the Pop-Tarts. They're going to do it, right? I immediately called it once the mascots start going, but Hugh Grant was doing the QAnon shaman there.
Yeah.
And I Googled that too, and I was like, that was the exact reference. It's like, this is going to be the start, right? Like, I mean, like this guy is going to live in pop culture infamy forever.
I don't
right?
see how you can't when you're. Yeah, exactly.
This guy's a genius. I wish I was this guy.
the shaman.
This guy's a genius. I mean, in real life, this guy.
He's a psycho, and he's not getting paid for any of this.
I know, but we're talking about him now
because it was referencing a movie as a joke.
Right, and there's going to be another movie.
The whole Jan 6 thing was a joke in this movie, which I was surprised by.
I was surprised they did that. Like I was like, oh my god, they're Jan 6ing this, but like to be clear to the people, because I don't want the negative comments. No, I don't want to actually be the QAnon shaman. I'm just saying I love American pop culture because you can take something as psychotic and crazy as the real life QAnon shaman. And this guy's going to live forever. I mean, just that character of the QAnon shaman. He's in this movie.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, it's going to become a joke. Just like after a time, it becomes. They joked about the JFK assassination here. That a milkman was seen delivering to a very questionable spot there.
At the grassy knoll.
Exactly, or even the Cuban Missile Crisis. They had the TV and Bill Burr's on the TV, just like all the Ruskies are coming over to Cuba. They're bringing sugar, and yeah, they have nukes, but we don't care about that. The sugar is what we're worried about.
Yeah, it's something that's forever going to live in pop culture history, and it's just amazing. God bless this country because, geez, that's my piece. So please, everybody, don't think I want to be that guy. But I loved it, right? And what did they say that the that Hugh Grant dropped a log in a hallway or something
A
like that? That
Kellogg.
was yeah. He said, I dropped a Kellogg. Yeah, that was hilarious. And they had to get an SNL guy. I've seen this guy 100
There was
times.
a lot of SNL guys actually in this movie. You're referring to Fred Armisen, I think.
Yeah, I'm referring to him where he's like the FDA guy and he
Yeah,
eats the Pop
but
Tart.
they had Beck Bennett in there, they had Mikey Day in there, they had Cal Mooney in there, which are all SNL people. They had what the hell they had? Bobby Moynihan who played Chef Boyardee.
That guy was funny in this. I loved him.
I think he's a fun actor too. I'm glad to see him getting work. That's good. I think Fred Armisen is just like perfect for these little roles like this. And listen, I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so dumb, but at the same part, it's like I I really do think this is like brilliant comedy, and for Fred Armisen, not for the movie because the movie's dumb. But the bit is that they're bringing in Fred Armisen, the FDA agent, and he's going to approve the Pop Tart or the Tart Pop or Trat Pop, as they're calling it.
Trap Pop. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, as they're calling it right now. And he's going into the conference room with Jim Gaffigan, Jerry Seinfeld, and Melissa McCarthy, right? And they have the one chair pulled out at the conference room. And he comes in and he goes, okay, and I am sitting.
That was a good joke.
Yeah, he just
Yeah,
put the finger pull around and say, here, you're sitting right here, with the chair pulled out. I don't know
yeah.
why it's just like.
His
Because
timing is great.
yeah, exactly. Like that type of humor gets me, where you make a joke of the obvious, and
Right.
it's unexpected, but it's also just I don't know. It's clever. I like it.
I liked it how they forced to stamp the approved, and he was like, "Oh, it was that easy. Oh,
I'm
geez,
trained to do this. You don't know? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, this
and
is that easy.
it gets approved, and then we got a war where post country squares and Kellogg's Pop Tarts are going, or Top Pop or whatever they call it, are going to stores, and none of the kids like country squares. None
It's
of the kids. They
all
all
about the name, baby.
right because what's the name of the news host again? Walter Cronkite
Yep.
was with the buddy. He reads it backwards. He's like, "It is called a Pop Tart," and they're like, "What? It's not a Pop Tart. It's a blah blah blah."
Who
Right?
cares?
Remember?
Run it. Yeah.
Yeah, who cares, Ron? And of course, before the end fun credits, the movie ends with Jerry Seinfeld and Kellogg saying, "Maybe we should put frosting on top of it." And it's just stupid stuff, right? We get like Melissa McCarthy's now, some hippie chick, and the German and Chef Boyardee are allegedly a gay couple raising the shrimp ravioli.
Yep.
They're just stupid stuff.
Stupid stuff.
So, with that stupid stuff, here's our stupid popcorn rating. I don't know if I'm going to shock you. Don't worry, I'm not giving it a large. I think this is medium territory. Is it?
Yeah, listen, I was gonna say the same. I know that it's not a popular opinion because it seems in right now in this day and age, it's popular to hate on movies, on TV shows, on musicians, obviously. It's really popular to just see it and just talk crap. You see it on YouTube, you see it on TikToks, where
Mhm.
people just try to expose the worst of it. I understand why this movie is not for everybody. I completely understand that. I'm not trying to say that this movie is the best movie of the year. I'm not trying to say it's the greatest comedy in the last decade. It's a dumb Netflix movie, man. Like we enjoyed Murder Mystery too, right, with Adam Sandler.
Mhm.
This is kind of in the same
I
area
don't know.
there.
I don't know if I'm speaking out of my rear end, but and honestly, no jokes. In my personal opinion, this is no different than the Barbie movie.
Sure,
I,
I get what you mean.
this is very Barbie was very stupid.
Yeah,
This is very stupid.
yeah. It's kind of have like this satirical kind of like this meta humor.
This Barbie, this Talladega Nights, Anchorman, Austin Powers, Murder Mystery, like those are all in the same category.
Yeah,
They truly are. This is no different than Barbie. I just think that Barbie had more money because
yeah.
this had big
Well,
stars.
Barbie was also coded in the story of feminism, right? In the patriarchy that was kind of. But again, this overarching story wasn't wasn't one really, right? It was about the creation of Pop Tarts.
But the creation of Pop Tarts, it was fine. Yeah, I think Eric, I think you and I are going to give it a medium, right? Like
Yeah,
it's not. I may watch some scenes. Like I think I'm going to YouTube the El Salvador whatever sugar scene where they shoot the guy's dummy again. Like that was funny.
yeah. I maybe it's okay. So I think there's a lot of people also who are tired of these movies, and this is such one where you could just turn it on and then go do laundry.
We've been saying that a lot recently. It's a Sunday morning movie.
You could turn it on and while you're making dinner, you could
Mm-hmm.
half watch this movie, and for every joke that you'll catch, for every other minute or every other joke that is told, is fine. You don't need to be caught up in the story to understand the jokes because they're coming at you quick. They're in the moment. They're just as dumb as the last, and then that's fine. I I
I
don't mind it. I really don't.
I think not to speak for you. Please tell me if I'm over speaking. But I think for Eric and I, for everybody that's listening, is that and I think Eric said in the beginning of the episode is one of the reasons why a movie gets a bigger rating for us is because a movie knows what it's trying to be. If it's going to be an action movie, then be an action movie. If it's going to be a rom com, be a rom com. Like, don't be a stupid movie and think that you're something that you're not. Like, Jerry Seinfeld knew this was a stupid movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100% knew it was a stupid movie.
Yeah, yeah. And this is where because a lot of people will say like they thought that like Palm Springs was the funniest movie of the year. I said that before, but that to me was more of a rom com. That was a bit more not a comedy. That was a bit more of a dramedy or like like a romantic movie, a drama movie with funny parts in it.
Come on, there's a lot more to that, okay? It was serious.
Yeah, yeah. My bad, my bad. Don't
I,
don't leave the conversation. Wait, don't drop.
I see that movie and I want Peanut Butter Falcon. That's what I see. A movie that has meaning and heart. So yeah,
But
no,
like compare this movie to like some Kevin Hart movies.
yeah, this is no different than Central Intelligence to me.
Oh, sure. I think the
Get
difference
hard.
is that like with those movies, what I'm trying to say is something like a Kevin Hart movie that tries to put a story in. That tries to be action
Fine.
with
Yeah.
a whole drawn out story, or like the Adam Sandler movies that we were mentioning before. There seems to be like okay, we got to have this story. Or what's that? There's a David Spade one that Adam Sandler did recently too, where he gets married or you're the wrong one or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope, we never reviewed it.
No, no, we didn't. But in the same part where these comedy movies that try to add a little bit more than just comedy to it. They
Right.
try to. Here we go. I'm trying to look them up here, and it's like you don't. What I'm trying to say is in defense of this one, where it just can be dumb. It can just be dumb as hell. The Wrong Missy is the Netflix movie that David Spade was in,
Never heard of it. I'm upset with Adam Sandler because of Spaceman this year.
or
Um,
Sandy Wexler, or
uh,
kind of these movies that try to have some heart in the comedy. It's just like no, just there's nothing wrong
be
with
who
just
you
being a
are.
dumb movie, man. And
And
yeah,
and that's where we're applying this. This movie gets a medium. Don't listen to the negative hype people who are listening to this episode. If you want something dumb and stupid, just know you're going into this. That's dumb and stupid. And I think that Eric and I both went into this knowing that it was going to be dumb and stupid. And that's how we enjoyed ourselves on it. Personal opinion, right? I mean, it's stupid. It's not film of the year here, folks. So, but Eric, thank you much for joining me. Check us out on movieguyspodcast.podbean.com or wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure to download this episode and many on the podcast app where you download your podcast apps from. But we'll be back next Thursday, like always, for another awesome episode. Eric, thank you much for joining me. Have a good night.
I think the the settings on my sound recorder switched and never switched back.
Yeah. Is that the thing, is that you get so comfortable, right? We all do. You get comfortable. You don't even think twice about it. Oh, I'm a professional podcaster.
Buddy,
Yeah.
I tell you, if I could be better at recording, then we would have game night uploaded, and we would have game night, the movie, the one that you have yet to watch, even though you have watched it because we reviewed it.
Now, you get mad at me when I bring it up. So am I supposed to be mad at you now?
You could be mad if you want to. It's my fault we didn't record.
We never talked about it. I've never seen it. The only time that I remember even seeing, like, it was, you know how movies do like the movie and there's always like a ripoff that comes afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the one that I remember watching was like a murder mystery thing.
Was it Murder Mystery?
No, it was date night with Steve Carell and what's her face, right?
Tina Fey, yeah.
Yeah, it was date night, and because I remember that because the movie, it was during a winter storm when I watched it, and the movie ended with them on a tarmac.
Yeah.
I'd never seen Game Night. Never seen it.
Well, how about you crack that sucker open and give it a watch? So
I don't have a DVD.
when you're 10 minutes in, you can go, oh. Would you just say? What did you just say?
I don't have a Blu-ray player. Yes, I do have a PlayStation 4.
Yeah. I would have said you have a PlayStation. I know you do.
That's true. That's true. I forget sometimes.